This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Whispers Racing Podcast. Grand final weekend of the punt, the Moya, the Golden Rose, the Underwood, and you can't forget about the big preliminary final in the NRL. Maybe the grand final too. As always, I'm joined by Matty. How are you?
Going well, Worm. How are you?
Yep, going well. I've got a headache from doing the form. I've had a gut full of it.
Mate, there is so much to do. What an absolute cracking weekend it is.
I don't think I've seen my missus.
Is she complaining?
I haven't heard from her, so after the show, I might just go check in to see if she's still alive.
Well, mate, we are recording on a Friday just because there was so much form to do. Plus, also, I'm getting public holiday rates today, so thank you for that.
Yeah, so am I. Last week, I thought it was a good day on the punt from us. Overpassed the place, $3.80. Aft Cabin decided to piss it in while it was pissing down, $2. And how can we forget the pineapple of the week? Zoo got you, Matty.
Zoo got you. Definitely got us. Beautiful. Looked like I was in a bit of trouble with 100 to go, but J Mac got us home beautifully. It was a very, very nice ride, and the pineapple salutes.
Yeah, it was off the canvas sort of stuff. I love seeing that. Looked in a bit of strife with the outside coming, but geez, it was a good win. I loved it. Be interesting to see if it comes down to Melbourne now.
No, it's gutsy horse. So yeah, it will be interesting to see where they take it. Definitely got some ability.
Yeah, definitely. Buying shares and cashing out. You got anything?
No, mate. We're gonna keep things as they are. I'm quite comfortable with the portfolio. I've got a few running this weekend. So we'll observe how they run. But no, how about yourself?
Are we allowed to double down on a share?
We can definitely double down. I think we should be doubling down on Peter Moody's nose roll.
Well, it didn't work too well Thursday night with I Am Caviar or whatever the spruik one was. But I'm going to double down on Lunar Flare. You got to keep forgiving it for some stupid reason, but it's got a nice race in it. It's back, it's wide, it's running on. Hopefully they go to Flemington now because it will get its chance of winning. I wonder they'll go into a harder race, I reckon. I'm hoping they come back a bit so we won't get a price, but I just think he's got a massive race in him. Hopefully it goes to Flemington next start. That's Lunar Flare. Trial trackers, I've got nothing because nothing's really jumped out at me. So if you're part of the community and want to be part of the community, jump on WhatsApp and I will send through the big trial/jump outs for the weekend. Track stats. We're going to do Valley and Sandown. The Valley, predicting horses on speed to be favoured. The track is drying as we speak, so the rail will be the place to be. So I don't want to be further back than fifth in running. Sandown Hillside, every horse should get its chance as they do, but I'll be looking for horses on speed as that's a golden rule for me personally. So that's on speed Valley, on speed Hillside, but they should get their chances. Today we'll be previewing races 2 from Moonee Valley, race 3 from Rosehill, and race 7, the Underwood from Sandown, and a lot of bets around the grounds. And yeah, multis.
Well, just one for your trial trackers. If no one has seen In the Congos trial, suggest everyone just have a quick sneak peek of that. Impressive, very impressive.
It's not running this weekend?
Not running this weekend. It had its trial. I think it was this morning.
Okay.
Saw a clip of it, and yeah, it's one that I'll be definitely marking down.
There you go. Punters, put that in your black book, put that in your buying shares in, and wait for it. It's going to pop up in one of the big sprints, I reckon.
That was a good reminder. Thank you.
That's all right. Race 2, the 3-year-olds, Group 3 tonight over the 1,200 metres. Odds, we got English Riviere, $4. We got Bound for Home, $4.60. Queen of the Ball, $6.50. Troach, $7. 1 OJ, $8. 3 Lady Laguna, $8.50. $10 the rest. I'm really keen to be with number 7 here, English Riviera. Yes, I know I gave the camp a bit of a spray last week on their stats, but I really like its map. Big positive upgrade in jockey and back around the bend. First up was huge win on the synthetic and rated well. Forget last start, faced the breeze on a suicidal tempo to only go down by 1.1 length. with both of those factors, it's good enough for me. Miss Rosiana came out of that race and ran last Saturday, only to go down by 2.4 in a similar grade. We beat it by 3.9 with similar tactics. Yes, I'm wary of the stats on the training camp, but J-Mac to turn it all around for this camp. With all the speed on her outside, Lady Laguna, Queen of the Ball, and Troach, we can either sit leader or we can be in the coffin. I think the price is quite generous considering its last start. I thought it'd be around the $2.80, but getting $4, I think it's a great bet to have. Got to respect the Zoo Got You form with number 1, Queen of the Ball. A month between runs is a slight concern for me, but last start was good, but tired late. Might find the front or sit outside the leader. Number 5 here, Bound for Home, was really good first up and looks to have some talent. And its jump out scent was okay. Again, like Queen of the Ball, a month between runs is a little concern for me. And I'm keen English Riviera, who is third up. No excuses Friday night. Matty.
Interesting. We backed one of these 2 weeks ago at the Valley. C. Williams rode it beautifully, Troach. I know you mentioned it, but how do you see it matching up against these?
It's if it had a middle barrier, I think it would match up quite well. Just Willow's going to be in a really sticky spot to find a spot. He couldn't land outside lead, but if there's a lot of tempo, we can take the sit. But yeah, it's just a sticky map if the rail's hot.
No, I tend to agree. Look, again, it can go forward from there, but it might need to do a little bit of work.
Yeah, it's just there's not much talent in this race, and I think English Riviera is the talent with Bound for Home. But yeah, J-Mac, I think this is going to put him on the scoreboard early for the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And J-Mac down to the Valley tonight and back up to Sydney tomorrow. Busy weekend.
And then back down here for Sunday, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Frequent flyers will be up.
Absolutely. It's always interesting when he comes down here. You keep an eye on who he's riding because he'll be certainly down here for one.
Yep. And I just wonder if it's in the Moya, but we'll touch on that. Race 3 on Saturday, Matty. You want to touch on it, Rosehill?
Yeah, mate, we'll go up to Sydney. Nice little race across 1,900 metres. There's going to be plenty of pace on in this race. But before we jump in, mate, can you just share the odds for the top few?
Yeah, we can. Wicklow is our favourite, $3.20. Alcyone, $5.50. Hammer On, $4.40. Quality Time with the misses. I might back that as an omen. Is $8. Number 1, Kiss the Bride, $9. And Yale Town, $12 plus. And the rest are, $12 plus.
Very nice. Mate, myself and Wicklow don't have a very good relationship, but we'll get to that in a second. As I mentioned, plenty of speed on. A lot of horses that like to lead in this race, and over 1,900 metres. The first 400 metres is going to be exceptionally interesting. I expect to see a few of them try and cross, and there's going to be plenty of room for cover. You could even see a bit of a gap between, I'll probably call it the first 3 or 4, and then the rest of the field will be sitting, could be sitting a couple of lengths off them. But yeah, across 1,900, it's a little bit unusual that you see so many horses that like to vie for the lead. Mate, there's going to be 3 that I'm going to be touching on here. Hammer On is the first one. Now, it's coming from a really wide gate, so I'm going to be interested to see what Willie Pike does, whether he does cross or whether he tries to find some cover. I think that would be the sensible thing to do. And as I said, if the first 3 or 4 do get out of the gates nice and quickly, Hammer On should have plenty of space. Look, the wide gate might be concerned it could be left wide. It's up in class. Similar to what you were saying in the last race, a month between runs is a little bit concerning here as well. Definitely has the ability to be really competitive and can come home quite strongly. So definitely wouldn't be surprised. Wicklow's the second one I'll speak about here, Worm. As I said, Wicklow and I don't have a great relationship. When I back it loses, and when I don't, it wins. So it's one of those ones that's I just think I'll definitely need to be having a saver on Wicklow within this race. Look, it's down in class, and I think we've got J-Mac on board Wicklow, don't we?
Yep.
Yeah, honestly, it's got the ability, and it's going to be able to run better than benchmark here, which is what we need to do across this 1900 metres. I think there's only a couple that can do it, and Wicklow is one of them. Alcyone I've got on top is the other horse. Now, I really liked his first start over 1,500 metres in a benchmark 78. This is obviously stronger class, but not exceptionally. Now, it did run third to Kiss the Bride, but moving up to the 1900 metres, I do feel like it's going to be a benefit for Alcyone. And at 550, Alcyone is going to be where I land Worm. So we'll be putting Alcyone on top. I will be having a saver on Wicklow. Now I'm putting a saver on it. It's got no chance of winning, and something else will probably come over the top. That's just the relationship that Wicklow and I have.
Well said. It's a good race. When I had a deeper dive into it, there's a few coming out of the same race. Yaletown,
Yes.
Wicklow, Alcyone was in that. Am I right? Yes. No. Different.
I don't think Alcyone and Wicklow, no.
No. Okay. Yeah, I took a look at Yaletown. He pricked my ears pretty quick the way he ran and held on really well on that tempo, but he's second up after 18 months off, so he's gonna put a flat one in, and I think it's this one, but not questioning Gay Waterhouse at all. She's the best, and yeah, I just thought that was a good run. But Wicklow, yeah, really good last start. Can't knock it whatsoever. But Alcyone, I like his figures that he's coming out of. I'm hoping the inside's the place is okay to be. It's a sticky barrier, but 550 to find out is very generous. The one I'm keen on is number 8, Outlandos. It's second up. I know it's something I don't go looking for is second up horses, but his first up run was just a pass mark. You can watch the replay and think I'm on something here, but it was a sit and sprint for the 1,500, and it's not its go. If the tempo's even to fast, which I predict it will be, watch out for this horse screaming down the outside at 50s. I'm happy to have a 0.25 and 3.75 play on Outlandos. I'm not gonna disagree with Alcyone. He's probably a bet and then a saver on Outlandos. But yeah, I just like something at odds here.
No, it's a good call. And Kieran McAvoy on board?
Concerned.
Yeah, okay.
But at 50s, I'm happy to find out.
Absolutely, yeah. Look, Alcyone from the inside gate, you touched on it. I don't think it'll be too much of a concern here just because of the pure pace in the race. Interesting to see where Alcyone and Wicklow actually land, being beside each other in barriers 1 and 2. So be interested. They could be side by side. I wouldn't be surprised if Wicklow just pops in behind Alcyone and sits there for cover. So yeah, look, it'll be an interesting one. You may have found one at odds.
Yeah, and even like Russo, a few episodes back, I've been talking massively about its jump out and been waiting like at $31 coming off an issue at Moonee Valley. If it doesn't get too wet, here's another one you're going to have at 30s as a similar play. So that's outlandish for me if you want to be brave and take Russo, but definitely anchor Alcyone, I reckon.
Very good.
Sandown, race 7, the Underwood Stakes. What an absolute cracker we got here. The favourite is Zaki at $2.50. I'm Thunderstruck $2.90. Mr. Brightside $4.40. Alligator Blood $7.50. Mwanga $26. They've left a 0 off it, and Nonconformist at $60s, and they left 2 zeros off that one. Only a small field, but what an addition of the race. The winner will be seed number 1 in the Cox Plate because Anamo's running scared up in Sydney. Tongue in cheek for anyone that's not watching. Speed map is the interesting part here. There has been some noise during the week from the ex-owner, Alan Andres, Alligator Blood. They don't want to lead. Knowing Gay, she doesn't take any advice off anyone. It's Gay's way or the highway. So I reckon Alligator Blood leads with Zaki outside leader, eyeballing it. I have Mr. Brightside right behind Zaki, 2 wide in that spot. And then I'm Thunderstruck behind Mr. Brightside. So no excuses for any runner. It's just what pace they're going to go. And I think they'll just go a nice, gentle speed. I'm keen to be with Zaki here. Good win first up in conditions that didn't suit. Second horse went on and again, went well again, which was Ice Bath. I think it ran second to Animo. Don't hold me to that. It's just thinking on the go. Once Zaki hits the front, it's a bloody hard horse to get past. Now, these horses met in the All-Star Mile. Yes, I'm Thunderstruck and Mr. Brightside were a touch unlucky due to their barriers. But I liked Zaki's last 50 in that race. They were never getting past it. And if they went an extra 200 meters, they weren't getting past it again. Yes, the others will sit a lot closer, but I reckon a lot of people are going to laugh here, and this is a fair income statement here. And you're going to laugh, but I'm Thunderstruck's last start win wasn't as good as it looked. Yes, it rated well. It smashed the line, but you watch the head-on footage because that day there was high winds in the straight into their faces. And for 300 meters, I'm Thunderstruck was held up or used alligator blood as a streamline until about the 150 and peeled out and went past the horse that faced the breeze the whole way down the straight. If Zara peels out to the outside at the top of the straight, it probably doesn't win. So can't be with I'm Thunderstruck. I won't talk you out of it. It's just my personal opinion. Mr. Brightside, if you like him, I reckon it should drift. But an interesting stat here, and my community found this out earlier. Since the 13th of August, PB Lawrence Stakes Day, those horses in that race have had 10 starts since, and there has been 3 winners and 3 placings. So Mr. Brightside form is hot, especially if ASAR can win. But I'm really keen to see how Mr. Brightside goes again for a second time against the big boys, but I'm really keen Zaki. Maddie.
Right. Interesting with I'm Thunderstruck. It's a good insight that. It's really interesting, especially when you do have strong winds at Flemington, to see what horses do have cover and what don't. So really good pick up there by yourself with I'm Thunderstruck. Watching the replay of that race, it's just an amazing race to watch. The top 4 here, you could talk me into any of these. Honestly, I could back any of these. I think Mr. Brightside form, as you said, has held up immensely well. Alligator Blood was enormous with the wind in its face. So if it hasn't got that headwind this time, can it hold on? Or as you said, does go with a different tactic and maybe sit back a bit? We know Alligator Blood can sit back and win. We saw it up in Queensland last prep, so no issues there whatsoever. I'm Thunderstruck, we've spoken about, and Zaki, well, Zaki is Zaki. Really hard to back against Zaki, so I can see how you found it.
Yeah, Zaki, I think, goes better early in a prep. Just my thoughts, I just think it goes way better early. Alligator Blood, if they take the sit, they're not getting past Zaki. The only way of beating him if they roll the dice with Zaki and put pressure on him. So it's going to be a cracker. I can't wait to see him because, yeah, as I said, number 1 seed, whoever wins this. Well, hopefully Mwanga or non-conformists don't because they won't be number 1 seed.
Yes. As you said, very interesting. And then when Animo does front up for the Cox, it's going to be a ripper edition of the Cox Plate.
Yeah, it'd be good if he doesn't run scared. But all right, grand final thoughts. We might as well talk about the grand final for a couple of minutes. Give our first goal, who we think wins, Norm Smith, etc., etc. I'll kick things off. We'll go first goal in order. I'm going to go Tom Papley. So then when he doesn't kick first goal, I can rip through him for the whole game.
Very nice, mate. I'll be going Will Haywood. Averages, I think, just over a goal a game and generally kicks them early. So Will Haywood for me and some decent value too.
Yeah, I'm like, there is method behind my madness with Papley. That he is their barometer. He is their spark. So I reckon they'll be looking for him early to just get that excitement level through the roof and watch one of the worst celebrations when he kicks the first goal.
Absolutely. We'll go absolutely bananas.
Yeah, it'll be great to watch.
Papley's at 12.
Yep.
And Haywood's at 17.
There you go. Blend them both in. But yeah, I think Sydney start well. We'll bank on that. Norm Smith, who are you going with, Matty?
And I'm going with Mark Blitzars. on the wing. I think he'll get a job. He'll do well, and I can see him snagging a couple of goals to take home the Normie.
Wow. Okay. Nice value. I'm going to go Isaac Smith, proven player on the big stage. I think he's going to play that half forward role, snags a couple. I just think he's stupid odds. I just look for someone that's done it on the big day. Selwood could be a chance. It's possibly his last game, so he'll be going around, not snipering, but he'll be hitting them hard. Dangerfield's the obvious choice. I think he's been saved for one last game for this season. But, I just think Isaac Smith, just footy smarts, puts a few scores on the board. We might be looking at a big result.
Isaac Smith, 51s.
Yeah. I just think it's stupid odds.
Not going to get a hard tag.
Nah, but I know we'll be rooting for the community one because I know there's a few in the community cheering Mitch Duncan at massive price at 34s, which was on Sunday, and I think he's in the 21s now.
Yeah, and I think someone has it with a double with Paddy Cribbs.
Yeah, and a few racing multis as well.
Yes, there are some big potential collects within the community come Saturday.
And I think we're going to have a special guest if he lobs too, because I promised someone they could come on the show if Duncan lobs his North Smith.
Beautiful.
So could be a different angle to the races next Saturday.
What percentage cut are you getting of that?
0, like all of them. Who wins?
Who wins? I will be at the game. I'll be cheering for the Bloods, but my head says Geelong will win. And I think it'll be touch and go for the first half. I can see Geelong pulling away in the second half is how I read the game.
Yeah, I agree. Geelong win. I'd like to go back to when they last time met. It was at the SCG round 2. Geelong had 18 more inside 50s back at the SCG. Didn't kick straight either. So if they bring their A game, there could be one hell of a can opened up at the G tomorrow and could win quite easily Geelong, but be cheering for the Bloods because I'd love to see Buddy win one for Sydney.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think Geelong's forward line, Sydney have got a very solid back line with the McCartans there, but having to curtail both Jeremy Cameron and also Hawkins, that's going to be a mighty task at the MCG.
McCartan's held Hawkins to, I think it's 4 games, 4 goals.
Okay. Yeah, I get that at the SCG. Not at the G, though.
Yeah, that's
I get that at the
point.
At the SCG. At the MCG, I think it's a different story.
Yeah, no, very good point. We're both sitting on the fence. We want Geelong to win for our pockets, and we want Sydney to win for just our heads.
Absolutely.
I love a good fence sit. It's fantastic. Around the grounds, I'll kick things off at the Valley. The Valley race 5, number 8, Aspora. Really keen, this horse. Loved its first up win. It's going to be a lot of speed in the race, and I think it gets the perfect match just to pounce on some tiring horses who are going to be first up. Mitch Aiken, hope he doesn't shit himself. Hopefully he doesn't shit the bed because they will be flying up front, and if he just gets out at the right time and straightening, it will be winning race 5, number 8, Aspora.
Mate, I messaged you about this race quite early when the markets opened up. Yulong Command. In the same benchmark as what it was when it just jumped, won, and beat this class very, very comfortably. How do you see this being different?
I don't see it much different. Inside barrier helps because it does ping the lids. My only concern is the jockey. It's obviously got 63 down to 61, but Jacob Opperman, it's a bit scary. I would have loved to have seen Matty Cartwright on, but yeah, no knock on the jump outs, but it's had 3, both been really, really good. But there's been other jump outs, like the front bar was really good on the synthetic, and it's out of the world famous McAvoy camp. Rose Cortez, I made a trial tracker last week. Young Liam, he's jumped out well. So all those all go to the front, and it's going to be, they're going to break records up front.
Yeah, and I think, as we mentioned as well, there is a lot more pace on in this race than what there was when it jumped and won last time at the Valley. And carrying that 63 kilos, it's going to be definitely struggling across the last, call it 75 to 50 metres. So, yeah, look, it'll be looking like the winner on the corner. It's just whether it can get there across that last 100.
Yeah, there's a lot of horses with big weights here, and I know weights isn't a big thing in sprint races like this, but 56.5 kilos versus some horses with 60, it's going to be, I reckon, telling very, very late, like last 20 metres. Right, you've got nothing for the Valley?
No, we'll just touch on the Moir.
Yes, that's why I was asking. Yep, good save. Yeah, your thoughts on the Moir?
Mate, look, Palele favourite, I can see why, and I think it's going to be extremely hard to beat. But I think it's a very open Moir this year. So for that reason, I'm going to be going with Bella Nipotina.
Oh, yeah, right.
About $15. Hasn't had a bad race in its last 5 starts. Always been around the mark, and is definitely up to winning a race like this. So I think in a very, very open field, Bella Nipotina will be getting my money.
Yeah, nice. I like it. If Willow can slot in and they're just making a little bit of ground, it's definitely a blowout hope.
Yep, absolutely. So I'll be cheering Bella home. Yourself?
I haven't dived too deep into it. As you said, so even and bloody hard. I'd love to see Rothfire win for the articles, but Zoo Style, it's just an early thought. I'm not locking it in yet, but Zoo Style slightly missed the kick, had to hunt up to find the lead on McEwen Day against Rothfire. Only went down by 0.75. If he jumps with him and finds that spot early without hunting it up, I think it's going to be a really good hope at some nice odds.
No, good. As you said, very, very open field. So it's going to be interesting to see how they jump and how they land. I think you're going to see them definitely come around that corner 4 or 5 wide.
Yeah. Rosehill, where do you want to go?
Rosehill, we better touch on the Golden Rose. I've got one that I'll be having a very small play at because I think the favourite will be exceptionally hard to beat. But Mullane, I think, is at absolutely ridiculous odds. So lightly raced, obviously, but I think it's definitely got a sneaky. As I mentioned, the favourite's going to be exceptionally hard to beat, but I'll be with Mullane in this.
Yeah, like it, mate. I think I made it a buying shares in for the Golden Rose, so you probably would have got a better ticket now than what I mentioned it. But no, definitely agree. I'm with In Secret here. Loved its win last start. Reports on it hasn't come on in the coat from that last start. So if it has come on and it looks to have improved out of the yard, I feel this is its grand final. And the horse from Barrier 3 shouldn't be an issue. J-Mac will just find a path when straightening and should be too hard to beat. I think the price is a touch poison, but sometimes you just got to back them because they just win.
Yes, they should get around $3 for In Secret, which, as I said, favourite in the race, will be exceptionally hard to beat. And Mullane, you'll get about 34s at the moment. I think they'll come quite hard for In Secret, and I think you'll be able to get better than 34s.
Yeah, and you can't rule out Jacquino because it's got half cabin form, and we know what that did on the weekend. So rip a race.
It is.
Considering I said the 3-year-olds were horrible.
I wasn't going to mention that you did say it was the worst Golden Rose ever.
Yep, I'll put my hand up. Sometimes you just got to. Race 9, number 1. I'm going to be with Mount Popper at Rosehill. Last prep was huge for the horse. And if the rain does arrive and we get a 6 or a 7, it should suit the horse. His jumps out, I've really liked it. 26s, and if you wait, you probably get better because Willie's on board. I could easily have a 1x3 plate on this. From the barrier, probably sits last, but I reckon if they can storm down the outside, Mount Popper is the one. Race 9, number 1. Anything else for Rosehill, Matty?
Nothing else for Rosehill. No.
And Silly Sunday at Sandown. Have you got anything?
I'll be backing Pinstripes, who was scratched from Sydney and running around in race 8. $4 in a field of 13. Look, It and Gentleman Roy, I like both of those two horses. I think Pinstriped is the better of the two. So I'll be landing on Pinstriped.
Wow.
How about yourself?
I think you've somehow hacked my computer, because I'm in the same race, but I'm not with those two. I'm with race 8, number 6, Age of Chivalry. Thought it was good first up for the new trainer, tucked away, making ground on the inside. Yes, Gentleman Roy and Pinstripe, probably the hardest to beat. We should be 3 wide with a bit of cover. I can easily have a 1x3 bet again at around 20s. That is Age of Chivalry.
Like it. Some decent value this weekend.
Yeah, I'm throwing them up from everywhere. So if I can just land one, we might have an actual promo cut for the podcast. I can't put half cabin in. I was thought about it all week to throw it out there, but I'll probably get some hate mail.
Oh, mate. And in that horrendous weather as well. That was ridiculously impressive.
Yeah, it was. It was good to see. I was looking at my Cox plate markets for it, but it hasn't been nommed.
Okay.
Disappointed, because I think it would be half a shot, but I think they've chipped in with Animo.
Yeah, interesting call. It would have snuck in at what, 52 kilos?
No, 49.
49? Jeez. Yeah.
But you never know. You never know. Might be a late, mate. Might be a late late fee.
Yeah, okay.
They might have to start a GoFundMe page, because they might be struggling for money, Godolphin. Multi-time. We're going a bit Ric Flair here. Since we can't get a horse racing multi, we thought we'll go a same game multi in the granny. If this takes off, we could be starting new areas for the podcast. What are you going to throw in, Matty?
Oh, mate, you've caught me off guard. I've sent them through to you. Have you got them there?
Yeah.
I think one of them was plus 20 posies for Zach Tilley.
Yep, and to kick a goal.
And to kick a goal, but Zach Tilley. There you go.
Zach Tilley, 20 plus possessions and kick a goal. I'm going to throw in Isaac Smith to kick a goal, and I'm going to throw in Geelong to win. So 4 legs, same game multi, $21.
Very good. Thought I'd just throw in a bit of Carlton flavour to the granny.
Like it. But if we can lob this will be, forget about your racing multis. We're just going to take same game multis.
Absolutely.
All right. The most important part of this show, Pineapple of the Week, Matty. Where are we going?
Mate, we are going tonight. We're going race number 3, and one of my favourite horses, and one that we backed in the very, very first podcast, Clemenceau.
Yo, guilty.
Liked its run. First up in Sydney when it ran second, and it's the class horse within this field. So with Mr. McNeil on board, I think it's going to be exceptionally tough to beat. So Clemenceau should be able to find around 220, maybe 225, and it will be the pineapple this week.
Beautiful. 100% agree. A lot of horses first up. We're second up. We're going to have a bit of edge fitness on a lot of them. Upgrade from Willie Pike to Joe McNeil is always a positive. I just think if it can just get real close to that speed like it did at Moonee Valley back in December 10th, it will be winning.
Fantastic. Good. Like it.
All right. That's the end of the show. Anything else to add, Manny?
No, mate. Cracking weekend. Wow. Wouldn't it? I don't think I could survive a weekend like this every weekend.
No, I can't. My head is doing my head in, and I haven't even had a bet today at Friday.
No, absolutely crazy. But going to enjoy it. Going to enjoy heading to the granny tomorrow. It's going to be a fantastic atmosphere, and hopefully get a few of these horses home tonight to build a kitty for the weekend.
Yeah, very much so. If hopefully you fill your pockets up for the weekend. More importantly, we hope we fill your pockets up for the weekend. We will touch base next Saturday for Turnbull Stakes Day. There you go. There we go. I completely forgot. That's how much racing's going on. Have a great weekend, and we'll sign off with our favourite guy.
Cheers, mate.
I'm not a good person, but it just goes to show that good things do happen to bad people. So anyone out there who's up against the wall, fucking stick to it. Every cent you got, your rent, your electricity bill, if you're going to buy your missus a ring, don't fucking do it. Keep punting. Keep fucking punting.